Welcome to the Body Smart Podcast, where we remove roadblocks to fitness and health to empower you to master your health habits. We help you become Body Smart.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Body Smart Vodcast. I am excited to introduce you to my guest today. This is Dave Earnshaw from Run4Fun. So it's a Facebook group that is really gotten quite a bit of attention, and it's really fun to see how it's grown. And so I follow it. I like and comment and see all the things that the runners post in there, and it's a really fun group. So I recommend definitely that you go and join Run4Fun. Really pretty cool stuff. Yeah, he's repping the hat. But it's kind of an interesting story how it got started, and so I wanted to invite Dave in to share that and also tell us a little bit more about his running journey. So Dave, tell us a little bit more. How did you get started as a runner?
Sure. It's an interesting story. I bought a bike, and I was really excited to go biking.
Yeah.
And I felt like I need to lose a little weight to start biking.
Sure.
So then I started running, and I have about 10 miles on this bike. So it was a nice investment there. But anyway, so I trained for a 5K, and then I just kept going from there. Went
Cool.
up to half marathon, and keep going.
And now you've done couple, at least 100 miler.
I've done a 100-miler, several 50s, and
Wow.
got a couple more on the way.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, so you've got a full race schedule this year with
I do.
a lot of miles ahead of you. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. And so it's interesting that kind of just born out of a fitness goal, and then it became a passion, huh?
Absolutely. It's been a lot of fun. I've met a lot of friends. It's kind of funny how many people have the same interests.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. It's a passion for something, whether it's biking, swimming, running. Just having people that share your interest to talk about and to bounce off ideas and just kind of get excited about it. A lot of times, we talk in our real life, or not our online life.
Right.
Our friends kind of get a little tired of hearing about it. I mean, even at home, my family's like, okay, stop talking about running, stop talking about something else, and I don't want to. So when I'm with my Facebook friends and in my group, it's fun.
Right. That's the beauty of a Facebook group is you're supposed to post about those things. You're supposed to share those things, and people want to hear it. And so because they have the common interest, nobody gets tired of it. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And if they do, they can scroll past it.
Right, exactly.
It's okay.
Exactly.
I know people get tired of me too, so it's okay.
Right. Well, but that's kind of the beauty. You've been able to prove how great the running community is here in this area. I mean, really, a great running community, and now that's even grown. I see people posting in there from all over the country.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, especially when people move out of state or from a different country, even they tend to stay with us because it's just fun. It's fun, and they feel comfortable posting. Most of them, anyways.
Yeah. Well, I saw one posting like looking for a good physical therapist in Guam. I've been trying to find one for him actually, and I have a lead actually, so I'll have to share that with them. I gotta go find that post, but pretty amazing, all over the place. But so tell us a little bit more then about how that got started. How did Run4Fun get started? Kind of as just a funny thing that grew, huh?
Absolutely. About 5 years ago, again, I had done a 5K and a half marathon. Thought it was time to go a little further, so I decided to train for a marathon. So a friend of mine's wife was also going to train for a marathon. She lived in Lehigh. I lived in Kaysville. So I thought, I'm going to open up this page and we can follow each other's journey. So her and I were posting back and forth how our training was going, and she got injured.
Oh no.
So I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. So I added my wife, and I added a good friend of mine who's now an admin, Rindy. So she was very well connected. She was a pacer and knew a lot of people and added a bunch of people from running. And so within about 6 weeks, I think we had about 150 people in the group, and it just took off from there.
Took off.
Yeah, and it's
awesome.
been real exciting and real fun to watch.
Yeah, that's so cool. So now, I think last I checked anyway, we 6,700.
No, it's just under 6.
Just under 6. Okay.
5,800.
Okay, 5,800. I imagine so. big weekend this weekend with lots of races and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I imagine it gets a bump up every time there's a race.
It does.
Yeah.
You know, word of mouth is everything. I know there's a lot of people in the group that say, "Hey, come check out this group. It's a lot of fun." But you know, I would challenge anybody who's not in the group to check your friends list, and you'll be surprised how many people that you know that are in the group. So even if you're not personally in the group, you have friends. I mean, we're talking, just under 6,000 people, and mostly Utah, mostly local.
Yeah.
So
you're connected already in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You'll find somebody to connect with, and really, it's such a fun atmosphere because it was founded on that Run4Fun idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's not competitive. It's not like, I don't know. It really is a fun atmosphere where people are building each other up and giving tips and advice and asking about injuries or, hey, I'm running my first marathon. What should I do nutrition wise, or what should I do shoes wise, or clipping my toenails? I saw the other day, right?
Yeah, I mean it. There's really not a judgment in there. I mean, it doesn't matter how fast, how slow, how strong, how new, how experienced. I mean, there's rarely any judgment, and if there is, we try to shut it down. I mean, we don't like the belittling or anything like that. I mean, a couple of questions we ask before you join the group is, are you keep your pictures appropriate? Will you control your language? I mean, we want to keep it a friendly environment. And I know sometimes it bothers people because people, they feel like social media, I should be able to swear, I should be able to do. It's fine, do your thing, but we just kind of keep it clean and keep it friendly. And by doing that, I think we have a pretty good variety of people. And
For sure.
I feel like everybody's welcoming. And again, I support working out and endurance, whether it's biking, swimming, tennis. I play pickleball sometimes. Whatever your thing is, go have fun and do it. Enjoy it. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really we tend to put exercise and working out in kind of this light of like it's your punishment for bad eating or things like that. We tend to make it this miserable thing instead of really doing just what you enjoy, and our workouts supporting being able to do the things you enjoy and love to do, right?
A lot of elite athletes, they'll do running, but then they'll do biking, and then they'll do other things for cross training and for just keeping themselves in shape so they don't burn out.
And so so they don't burn out mentally even, right?
Exactly.
Training for longer distances, it definitely is a fatiguing thing. Like it's just you have to put in so many miles that it can be fatiguing. And so mixing it up and doing other things that you love to do, basketball or pickleball or whatever, keeps it fresh. Yeah. So that's fun. So it kind of started with just kind of this grassroots growth thing. And so now what do you do to keep it going? How do you keep that fire burning with the Run4Fun?
Well, to be honest with you, there are the people in the group keep it going. I mean, I don't, I mean, there's a lot of groups out there. There's tons of groups, especially on Facebook and things. And, I don't feel like I run the group. I feel like the people that are in the group run the group. I mean, if you look at it, I'll go a week without posting just because people get tired of hearing from me. I mean, I don't want to be, hey, look at me or anything like that. Right. So I try to back off a little bit. And if you look at the top 10 contributors in the group, it always changes. So it's cool. And in fact, about every 6 months, a new group of people start posting. So it's pretty exciting. So it's not just me by any means.
What do you know your overall engagement percentage? Is it pretty
it's
good?
Pretty good. I mean, we get about, I think last I checked, the average post gets read by about 2,000 people.
Wow.
So I mean, it's not 100%, awesome. But it's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's pretty amazing to think about. 2,000 people read each post. Yeah. That's awesome.
So yeah, it's nice to see. I mean, but then again, like an average person that just, hey, I had this run and I was struggling. I sat down, I had a little moment, and then I got back up and got excited and finished my run strong. And my pace wasn't what I wanted it to be, but I felt good about the run. You'll get 80, 90 people saying how great and how proud of them you are. And
Yeah.
It's exciting.
It's been really fun to see how many people are so encouraging and so like, I've been there, way to push through, that's so tough, but you did it, like those types of encouraging comments just keep people, rather than from giving up and being like, I never want to do that again. They're like, I did push through. I did, like rather than dwelling on the negative side of it, they can really focus on like the accomplishment of what they did. That's so cool.
I think what's also nice is, you could Google, what do I eat during a marathon?
Right.
And you can find millions of answers. But I think what's nice about it is you get to know what real people experience and local people's opinions.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of is a little bit more personalized.
Yeah.
I care more about somebody who I know or that I run with versus somebody in Guam. That's in our group, but it's like somebody who can't really relate to our altitude and I can't really relate to.
Or the elite athletes, sometimes the information out there is for like the ultra elite athlete, and it's like, well, I'm a dad that runs like a couple of miles, every day, and I can't put in the 120 miles a week, and
it's not your full-time job.
Yeah, exactly. And so like the nutrition that they're doing probably isn't the nutrition that I should be doing, just because my whole situation is different. And so to be able to hear from other runners that are in my same situation, like a working dad that can't run full time, that's the kind of tips and tricks that I need to know.
Right.
And so it's so awesome to be able to have such a large community of real people that are out there doing it.
And everybody's goal is different.
Yeah.
So I mean, even if you want, if you want to Boston qualify, we've got thousands that are a great resource. If you want to increase your distance, you want to do a new distance. I mean, I struggle with cramping, and there's all kinds of advice.
All kinds of advice. Yeah, and it gives you the opportunity to try it out and see what works best for you, and then you can be that source of advice for the next person, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really fun. I've been impressed to see really how clean, how engaged people are, but also how kind they are. It's really a great group. You've done a good job at keeping it clean and good, and I think that creating that comfortable space for people to come in and post, because a lot of people are self-conscious about where they're at, and I'm not a great runner, and it's like, who cares?
Right.
It's about doing it and participating. And I always say the way you train and those types of things, the natural consequence of your training is speed and stuff like that, rather than focusing on that. So you just get out and do it, you'll get faster, you'll get better, you'll be able to go longer. It's just about sticking with it, and I think the encouragement of that group helps people to stick with it.
Right. I agree.
So you've probably helped people lose thousands of pounds, and you've probably helped people be so much healthier and all those types of things, just from something that started just kind of on a whim.
Right.
Which is pretty cool.
It is cool
to think about the impact of social media in a positive way, right?
Absolutely.
So that's cool. So tell us a little bit about some of the events or things coming up for Run4Fun.
Sure. Well, the one thing we have, I do just a simple little race in Kaysville to Layton area. It's about a 7-mile trail run. It's a lot of fun. It's only $35, so it's not an expensive one. I do a medal and do some form of swag, and I've got something. I'm just not sharing it today, but anyway, it's a lot of fun. Last year we had 164 people sign up. I think 140 some ran on race day.
Cool.
I do allow, because life comes up, you get injured, you have family barbecue or whatever, you can't make it.
Right.
I do allow people to run the trail up until Thanksgiving and still earn the medal and swag. Since I live close to it, I've been able to meet a couple people at the trailhead to give them their medal and their swag.
That's awesome.
If I can't, I live close, so I can leave it on the porch, which is not as exciting. But what's cool about this race is it's an out and back on a trail. You go over 3 bridges. You go. You basically see everybody.
Yeah.
So people are high-fiving. I mean, it's just beautiful.
Well, and it's such a pretty area. So that's one of my common morning runs. Actually, is that trail, and that's nice. It's so pretty, and the creeks and the.
Oh, I love it.
It's such a pretty spot,
and there's a little bit of elevation, but what I like about it is it gets people that are not comfortable with trails to try it. I mean, I had somebody I think walk it last year in like 4 hours, which. It really shouldn't take that long, but if it does, who cares? You know, I'm there hanging out and just having fun. So and I got to hang out with people that ran it to just hang out and talk with them. Right. And then I got to sweep the trail after to make sure it's clean and there's nothing left out there. Tossed stuff that's out, right. So I it's a full day.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. It's a big thing to put on an event. So that's really cool, and it's. That's such a cool idea to make it so that people can really do it anytime during the running season and still get the medal. That's awesome. Yeah. Other races should listen to that. That's pretty cool. It's tough, I think, because they have to like close down roads and everything. Like, you can't always go run Ogden, can you?
No, you shouldn't.
Right. So, anyway, what a cool thing to be able to do. That'll be fun to see that coming up in a couple of weeks, right?
July 13th.
Okay, July 13th. For some reason, I thought it was June 13th. July 13th, so a couple of months. And then anytime between then and October, you can still get it. But try to come on that day because the atmosphere is really fun.
Oh, it's so much fun. I mean, we do have the finisher, finishing signs and stuff. There's pictures in our group of last year's. Yeah. That's awesome. So. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you so much for coming on with us. Body Smart Vodcast. Again, join Run4Fun, the group on Facebook. It's such a great place to be, and runners will really enjoy it. So thanks so much for joining us. Thanks again, Dave, for joining us. And he just did a metabolic test, so he now is one of the club that's done a metabolic test. So pretty fun to see where he's at and see his numbers. Thanks again so much, and we will catch you on the next episode.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Thanks for listening to the Body Smart Podcast. Join us in the Body Smart community on Facebook to share your successes or ask a question for our next episode. Now get out there and take the next step toward living your active lifestyle.